Not everything is as it appears. Hello everyone, it's Bree here, and man do I have something fun planned for this video today. So, I had gone back and watched my friend Erin's Sanderside's prediction video from back in January. Since the new Sanderside's video, it hasn't even come out yet, so gotta get my content when I can. And it got me back into theory thinking mode. But not just about any episode. Not the new episode. No. This is about a very specific episode in mind. More precisely, the importance of the episode A New Year of Lying to Myself. Now, disclaimer, I know that there is a big problem with the earlier episodes because Joan had not yet joined in writing the bigger overarching plotline of Sanderside's prior to the episode Alone on Valentine's Day. I know this, but for the sake of this theory, all of those episodes have already been put into play on the plotline, and Joan and Thomas, they already know what they're doing with those episodes and how they're going to play in to the overarching narrative of Sanderside's. More specifically, I am talking about Deceit's narrative. Yes, A New Year of Lying to Myself, I believe, does have a big importance in Deceit's overarching storyline. And so, let's get our cogitating caps. Close enough. And let's start looking into these lies. So here is my thought on what the importance is of A New Year of Lying to Myself. The song they sang summoned deceit. Yep, I think that when they sang the song Lies, that is what summoned Deceit before he was even revealed in the episode Can Lying Be Good? Here's why I think so. So, if you remember in the song, there was a long list of resolutions that Thomas had gave to himself for the year 2017, and a big majority of this current Sanderside's episodes happen in the year of 2017. But here's the thing. Thomas didn't really keep up with these resolutions that he has. So why don't we take a look back at the song and see what these resolutions were to begin with. Roll clip.
It could be different, right? Right?
I'll cut out carbs to lose some weight.
That's a lie.
I won't go to bed so late.
Lie.
I won't be so shy to date.
Lie.
I won't do so much riffing.
Lie.
I'll hit the gym and get real strong.
Lie.
All my work I won't prolong.
Lie.
I'll stick to goals the whole year long.
Another lie.
I won't sing so many Disney songs.
You're kidding, right? Give it up. Resolutions are nothing more than empty promises to yourself. Shouldn't even try. Okay, maybe thinking big like that is not the way to go, but resolutions don't have to be big, they can be reasonable.
I could cook a meal or four.
True.
Keep my clothes neater in my drawer.
True.
Improve my credit score.
So true.
Tell my loved ones that I love them more.
That's cute.
There's a book I've meant to read.
True.
Do my best to do good deeds.
True.
Take the time from me I need.
True.
Follow last and take a lead.
Let's look at the first stanza of resolutions that we have in the song. So in the first one, it is, I'll cut out carbs to lose some weight. Now, if you go to the episode Growing Up, Logan has a long grocery list of items that he wants Thomas to accomplish as he's growing up. One of them that he mentions in the grocery list is just food in general and health and nutrition.
Business responsibilities, social commitments, personal health responsibilities, groceries, hygiene. I get it. Oh, those are just the categories. We haven't even gotten into specifics yet.
So if he's still thinking about this in the episode Growing Up, which is about a little bit after January, 3 months to be exact, since Thomas's birthday is in April, he obviously is not keeping up with that resolution already. Most people say that most people don't keep up resolutions after the first month of the year. So if this is the case, Thomas has not been keeping up with this resolution. Let's move on to the next one. I won't go to bed so late. Again, it's mentioned in the episode Growing Up, where Patton talks about the fact that one of the perks of growing up is that he can stay up later, and he states that Thomas stays up till 3 a.m. Thomas even reiterates and says that he stays up until 4 a.m. rewatching The Office and playing games and stuff.
You can stay up until 3 a.m. rewatching Parks and Recreation. I usually stay up much later. Well, yeah. He cannot stay up until 3 a.m. or however late. It's like 5 a.m. Oh my.
So obviously he has not been keeping up with not staying up late either. I won't be so shy to date. Literally a few episodes later, in Alone on Valentine's Day, Thomas is talking about the fact that he is worried about getting a date for Valentine's Day. And then more episodes down the line, in the two-part episode Nostalgia, he's talking about a past relationship and how he can't move on from it. So clearly, he's not doing that at all. I mean, kind of hypocritical, because I'm not, but this is about Thomas. This isn't about me. This is about Thomas and his resolutions. I won't do so much riffing. I'm pretty sure there's some riffing that happens in the Christmas episode. Somewhere in that song. Because there's a song, and we know Thomas loves to riff, so it's in there. Somewhere in there.
Five Crofters Jam.
So the next one. I will go to the gym and get real strong. Again, in Logan's grocery list of things he wanted him to do in the episode Growing Up, he mentions health and fitness. So, Thomas clearly hasn't been keeping up with going to the gym. The next resolution is all my work I won't prolong. So there's like 2 episodes that tie into this. In the episode Losing Motivation, the whole point of the episode is not being able to keep up with his work, because he literally starts it with saying, "Here I am, welcome to this video, I've got nothing."
What is up, everybody? Man, you are in for a treat, because for today's video, I got nothing.
And then there's the episode Am I Original, where he's having trouble keeping up with an idea and being able to come up with new videos to do. So he's having a little trouble with that. I'll stick to goals the whole year long. Well, if he was, would I even be having this theory right now? Probably not. I won't sing so many Disney songs. Let's see. He has the episode The Dark Sides of Disney, where he's literally talking about Disney. And there's a question in the Q&A episode where they ask the sides to sing a Disney song.
What's your favorite Disney movie, and could you please sing something from it? Winnie the Pooh! Oh yeah, Winnie the Pooh. Black Cauldron, no songs, it's perfect. My favorite movie is Big Hero 6, and it contained the theme song Immortals by Fall Out Boy. I'm not much of a singer, so I shall recite the lyrics like a poem. They say we are what we are. That's enough of that. I can't choose amongst any of my darling babies, so I'm going to just go ahead and say that they're all my favorites, and I'm going to start singing the entire anthology, starting with Someday My Prince Will Come. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. You know what? I am done. I am done here. I am done with all of you.
So, no. So here's the part of the song where he is trying to come up with more reasonable goals that he could give himself, because apparently he feels like the ones he has given himself are too big. So the first one is, I could cook a meal or 4. His lack of cooking is discussed in Growing Up, in multiple parts of the series, of the fact that he can't cook. So he's not doing too well.
No sweets or guilty pleasures. Only broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots. Carrots? Yes, carrots. And beef, pork, chicken. No Mulan lyrics right now, man. Come on. So be it. Greens, greens, nothing but greens. Into the Woods is not better.
He just isn't. Keep my clothes near in my drawer. In the episode Mind vs. Heart, there's a whole part where Logan and Patton are talking about the fact that he has a very there is a whole conversation with Logan and Patton to Thomas about the fact that he has a lot of clutter in his closet.
Straighten up this place even just a little. All this clutter is gonna keep getting me down. Throw out that entire stack of papers. Those are his notes and writings from when he was 13, Logic. They're useless now, morality. Do you want him to be a hoarder for the rest of his life? You can't.
So, improve my credit score. Logan did mention business responsibilities in growing up, and I believe that credit score does fall under business responsibilities, because in order to have a good business, you have to be able to buy things, which involves a good credit, so that you can put stuff into your business. So yes, business responsibilities does include credit score. Tell my loved ones that I love them more. During the episode changes, the whole point of the episode was that he was missing his friends because of all of the tours he was going on and events he's going to. So he hasn't really seen them much, and he hasn't been able to tell them that he loves them.
You guys can take on the forms of my friends, and I can have you with me, no matter where I go!
So, he's not been keeping up with that. There's a book I've meant to read. In the episode Growing Up, Patton states that now that he's getting older, he can read whatever book he wants. But Logan reiterates that with saying he's not doing that.
You can read whatever you want, but you don't. So maybe start looking into reading for entertainment instead of what you normally do. In fact, let's just cut out Parks and Recreation altogether.
So he's not reading a book at all. The next one is do my best to do good deeds, but I'm going to kind of like put a pin on that, and I'm going to come back to that one in a second because there's a lot in store for that one. Okay. Take the time for me I need. In the episode Changes and in the episode Nostalgia, he's having trouble going past his friends or past relationship in order to take time for himself and to take care of himself. So he's not really been taking time for himself to, like, you know, keep his morality high and, you know, keeping his feelings up. He's not doing too good at that. And the last one, follow less and take a lead. In the episode Fitting In, Thomas talks about the fact that he's got his hair dyed purple so that he could, you know, stand out more and be himself. But
I will always have that little bit of nervousness about what people think of my appearance, colored hair or not, but honestly, I'm happy with the change-up.
Literally in the next episode, Nostalgia, during part 2, he follows what Roman and Virgil are objectively telling him in regards to how he should deal with the phone call from his ex.
He's calling me back.
Pick it up! Pick it up!
I don't know.
Destiny has dialed back!
Get rid of it. Get rid of the phone now.
Oh, I know you shouldn't have done that.
I meant, like, set it down or something.
So that kind of got thrown out the window. He started it and then kind of just didn't. And now, let me take a pin out of do my best to do good deeds. We are back to that one. In the very last episode, before Deceit's big reveal, is the Christmas episode, which, by the way, is the last episode of 2017. Thomas's last chance to follow all of his resolutions and say that he did them. And you know what the next episode is? The episode that Deceit reveals himself. And in this episode is when Deceit brings out that Thomas isn't really wanting to do good deeds for others fully because he wasn't wanting to be honest with Joan about why he wasn't at their reading. So, in the sense, I feel that when they sang the song Lies in the episode A New Year of Lying to Myself, they summoned Deceit. He was there in the background during the song while Thomas was trifling with the fact that they could be lies.
Don't kid yourself, you know your year can't be that sublime. You may be right, but I'll prove you wrong. We'll both find out in time if they're lies. They could be lies. I won't let them be lies. I'm doing fine.
And it's kind of summoned Deceit. The way I know this is because look at Virgil's face. He has so much panic on his face when Thomas is just casually saying, oh, they could be lies, and Virgil's thinking, no, don't think that. And then he feels another presence in the room. Deceit. Deceit isn't showing himself to anyone else, but Virgil knows he's there because he's a dark side. So it's easier for him to tell if another dark side is there, even if the light sides can't see him or tell that he's there. This is known because in the episode Can Lying Be Good, Roman and Logan didn't even realize or think about the fact that Patton could have been Deceit until Virgil brought it up.
Wow, I'm so proud of you, Thomas. You're so mature. Thank you. I knew something smelled fishy here.
I also smell it. I told Thomas to take the trash out.
No, it does smell bad, but I was talking about Patton.
Oh, you mean how he's clearly...
Oh, I get it.
So with this in mind, in the episode A New Year of Lying to Myself, while they were singing, Deceit presence probably was not noticed by Logan, Patton, or Roman, but it was noticed by Virgil, since he is a dark side. But why was Deceit showing his presence to Virgil? It could have been for one of two reasons. One, he was either letting Virgil know that the plan that they were doing was working. I'll get to that plan in a little bit. Or, because Virgil was initially sent as a pawn to the light sides, but may now not be wanting to go through with the plan that they're doing, Deceit is reminding Virgil that the plan is going to happen regardless of what he tries to do. So where we get to after the Christmas episode, it is now 2018. It's been a year since the episode A New Year of Lying to Myself, and Thomas has not kept up with his resolutions. He hasn't kept true to his word, and so Deceit has been, in a sense, unlocked. Like in a video game, he's been unlocked and is now revealed to Thomas that he exists. Deceit needed this grand reveal because of a plan that he has in place with Virgil and Remus. His plan is that he wants to, in a sense, take over Thomas, for all the dark sides to take over Thomas, so that he can show his true self. Because as we know, all of these characters are sides of Thomas, but Thomas really only listens to the light sides. So in Deceit's eyes, he's not being his true self. A person who does lie, who has a lot of intrusive thoughts, and gets paranoid. This is when it gets important. This is going off of Erin's theory in her video. Even more details on this theory in her video. She talks about it really well. Or is it here? Where does the link go? It's on one of these sides. So, basically, the thought is that Virgil was sent in to the light sides as a pawn because his original function was paranoia. And this has almost been slipped by a few sides.
Working hard to make Thomas vigilant. Paranovigilant. Did you like that? I just made that word up just now. I'm basically Shakespeare.
What if he's lying?
I can assure you he's not. You're just
expressing an unhealthy amount of concern.
So with this in mind, Virgil is extremely powerful, especially when he goes full Virgil, if you could call it that. So Deceit's plan was to send him in so that he can get insight and become an integral part of, the main table of sides, if you will. And so here's the thing. When Virgil was initially sent in, he had an episode all to himself, except for one side. And that side was Roman. Roman has been with him since the beginning. But why would Roman be allowed in the video, but not any other sides? Because Virgil was to have an episode to himself. But why was Roman there? Roman was there because Virgil goes against everything that Roman stands for. Roman wants Thomas to live out his hopes and dreams of finding a romantic partner and living on, in Broadway and being an actor. Or being an actor in some sense. Maybe a movie? But because of anxiety, Thomas can sometimes get stage fright, and he can be nervous when talking to people, especially when he is wanting a romantic outcome from talking to this person. So with this in mind, Roman already goes against Virgil. So in future episodes, if he ever says anything mean to Virgil, or if he doesn't like him, the other sides aren't going to notice as much because they weren't there when anxiety was initially revealed. And also, at the end of that episode, anxiety was kind of stifled a little by what Thomas figured out by talking to Lily Singh. So anything that Roman says, they'll just think that's because they butt heads with each other, because the same things happened with the other sides. So this way, Virgil kind of just slipped in to the main fold of light sides. What? So now that Virgil is a part of the light sides, he needs to get insight on what Thomas is doing. So in the next episode, he's talking about resolutions. The title of the episode is A New Year of Lying to Myself. Why would it be called that if he's making resolutions that he's going to keep? Because he's not a completely honest person. And after Deceit realizes that he's trying to be completely honest, he's going to nip that in the bud. Or poison that. Snake puns. I don't know. So now that Virgil's there, he can keep tabs to see if Thomas is keeping up with these resolutions. And as we saw before, he was not. He was not doing that at all. So now that the year is up, Deceit needs to reveal himself and finally make Thomas realize he's not a completely honest person by giving an ultimatum to him of where it hurts the most, his friends. And so Deceit now has made a grand reveal, letting all of the sides and Thomas know that he's there, and he also says he's not going anywhere. And that is completely true. He is not close to done yet. He didn't just need to reveal himself. That was just like step 2 in his plan. Now that he's revealed himself, he needs to find a way to take over. And he thought he was going to do that in the episode Selfishness versus Selflessness. But it kind of backfired. See, his initial plan was he thought that if he got Roman to be the judge, instead of like Logan, as most people would think, he would have the case in the bag, and that Roman would have Thomas go to the callback and reveal that he's not a completely honest person. But it didn't work out for Deceit, obviously. They're going to the wedding, as far as it seems. And so, in a sense, it was a backfire. But actually, it gave Deceit the perfect way to kind of put his plan into hyperdrive. Because in the next episode, Remus was revealed. Now this was like a 2-parter. Not the episode, but Remus coming in goes with 2 things. One, it's payback for Roman for hurting Deceit. That was a wrong move on his part. And what better way to punish him than sending in the brother that goes against everything he stands for and literally knocking him out of the episode. Now, with everything that has happened to Roman in the series, he has been knocked down countless times. And this time, he was literally knocked down. Roman has had it. Now let's put a pin on that for a second. The second part of bringing Remus in was to get Virgil worked up. Because, unlike with Deceit, whom Virgil just, is annoyed by, Remus he's scared of. Because of everything he stands for, of making Thomas seem like a terrible person because of the things that he comes up with. Like that.
That's not the only way he sees me.
God, please leave Joan out of this.
Oh, what's that?
That is something Joan would do.
So with this in mind, Remus could be the perfect way to get Virgil paranoid. And as I've said before, Virgil is really powerful. When I was talking about the resolution, fall less and take a lead, Thomas literally just, when Virgil spoke to him, he just cowered and listened to him. So it's clear that Virgil is really powerful. So if Deceit could have Remus get Virgil worked up, he would go full Virgil and be completely paranoid. And it would be game over for Thomas, but a win for Deceit. That didn't fully happen, but Remus made his presence known, and he could clearly come back at any time now that Thomas knows about him. But Remus is kind of there as a backup plan. But now, after this episode has happened, we get the Sanders Asides episode. This is where we come back in with Remus hurting Roman. Roman is completely distraught. After everything that has happened, he is completely down, especially after being knocked out of the episode by his brother. And so with this in mind, Roman is kind of like how he was in the episode Anxiety versus Logic. His pride is hurt. But he doesn't want to show it. He wants people to think that he's getting better. So he's kind of just in his room. And he's going to watch the movie Frozen. I kind of have an idea that this is his favorite Disney movie. Kind of sidetrack. That Frozen is his favorite Disney movie because the first Disney song that he sings when he pops up is "Do You Want to Build a Snowman?"
Not to mention your love of Disney songs. Do you want to build a snowman?
Nope, not right now.
In the episode Dark Sides of Disney, Roman gets really upset when Virgil even utters the idea of Olaf melting, and completely dying. He is upset by that.
When Elsa passes away, Olaf's gonna die too, because the magic will be gone, so just prolong the inevitable.
Whoa, whoa,
Wow.
whoa, wow,
That is really dark.
So I have a feeling that Frozen is his favorite Disney movie. So he's wanting to watch that. Deceit kind of sneaks up on him in a way, and he starts talking to him. He starts asking him, if he's okay, and he lets Roman vent. Not so that Roman can feel better, but so that he can get insight into what Roman is truly thinking. So that he can get into Roman's head and find how he can get him on board with his plan after the backfire he had in selfishness versus selflessness. So after all this, Deceit comes up with the idea of having a pajama party to watch a movie so that his friends can make him feel better. But this is all a diversion. I'll get to that a little later. So after this, Roman probably goes along with the idea, feels like it's a good idea, and then Deceit says, you know what, to make things fair, you should let people vote. And then Roman's like, that'd be a cool idea. Probably I could put the votes in a hat or something. And Deceit's like, here's my hat. And he gives his hat to Roman. Now, what I feel about his hat is it kind of has the powers to his deceitful nature and his ability to tell lies. So, by giving Roman his hat, he gives Roman not for Roman to use it, but Roman has with him Deceit's powers. So that because in the episode, at the very beginning, they had tallied up the votes, seemingly in the same room, and all the votes were for Frozen.
That is, if the film you submitted received the most votes. I have a feeling it did.
Now, I may not have voted for Frozen, Roman, but I'm still rooting for your happiness.
Oh my goodness, 100% of the votes went to Frozen!
Yay!
A landslide victory!
Go, Roman!
Falsehood, I did not vote for Frozen.
But none of the other people voted for Frozen except for Roman. How is this? Deceit allowed it. When the votes went into his hat, Deceit allowed all the votes to change to Frozen in favor of Roman to keep him happy. Because if Roman is happy, he has the chance of going along with Deceit, more so than if he's suspicious of Deceit. And by the end of the episode, Roman is getting ready to tally the votes again for something else. And he says, should we vote on it? Oh, wait. He's like, should we vote on it? And then Deceit walks in.
We vote on what we're gonna do next? Oh, I was looking for this. Don't touch my shit.
Now, as an actor myself, cues are like a big part in theater. So what I feel is that Deceit's whole purpose of the Frozen movie night was a diversion to show to Virgil that him and Roman are working together. Because Remus popped in at multiple times during the episode.
Do you have to go?
You'll be fine, Elsa.
But you two won't, am I right? They're gonna die at sea! I sleep in the boat.
So Deceit could have done the same thing. But he didn't. He didn't pop up until Roman was showing his hat to everyone. And that was a perfect moment for him to walk in, because Roman had his hat. But obviously, Virgil would know that it's Deceit. You can't just sneak into his room and steal his hat. He would have had to have known that you were in there, or even given you the hat. So with that in mind, Virgil now has been shown again that Deceit is there, but not in the clever way that he did in A New Year of Lying to Myself. This time, Deceit was fully out there and letting Virgil know in a way that no one else could tell that him and Roman are working together and that he's not done yet. Virgil is now afraid that if Deceit goes through with his plans to make him completely paranoid, that this will ruin Thomas. Now, it's been said that the next episode is just a Patton and Roman episode. So why is this? Because, for one, I don't know what is fully going to be said in the episode, but probably because Logan didn't play a big role in Selfishness versus Selflessness, he's not really going to be present here because it's kind of mostly an argument between Patton and Roman. So, I'll get back to it being between Patton and Roman in a second. But with Virgil, he played a big role in the trial. He was the jury. So he could play a role too, but he doesn't want to be there because he's afraid that if he gets paranoid and Deceit pulls any traps or tricks, he could release Deceit's whole plan and ruin Thomas in a sense, because if he gets paranoid, there may be no going back, especially if Logan isn't there or is somehow stifled from being able to calm Virgil down like he did in the Sanders Asides episode.
Please do me a favor and name 5 things that you can see. Staircase.
Impending doom.
Olaf. A future without friends. Lamp.
Blinds.
Pants.
With this in mind, Virgil is probably going to duck out in his room for a second so that he can, not completely, but just stay away for a moment so that if Deceit pulls anything, he's not there and he's not going to come out to cause any disruptions. But now, now back to the people in the episode, why is it just Patton and Roman? Because if anyone was hurt, aside from the fact that Roman was obviously hurt because he didn't go to the callback, he went along with Patton. So why would it just be an argument between them? Because Deceit was also hurt because he was the running the trial in the first place. This is when I also kind of bring Erin's theory into mind that Roman is going to be Deceit in Roman is going to be Deceit in disguise. Yes, Deceit will be there in some way. So, but this time, he's in a really good disguise because he's had 2 chances already to, get some notes and figure some stuff out. And so now he's fully ready for this. And he's fully ready to release his whole plan. Now, he's going to be disguised as Roman because obviously anything that he says, Thomas won't listen to him. So here's what I think about that episode. I feel that either, like, I feel that the wedding was supposed to be on the next day. And obviously, Roman would be really mad at Patton, but I don't know how much damage Roman would be able to do with how hurt he is after everything that's happened. So if Deceit was there in his place, Deceit's not hurt. He's just angry and ready for vengeance, so he would do more damage than Roman. So Deceit as Roman would be the perfect way to get back at Patton for causing Thomas to miss the callback, especially if it was on the next day. If it was on the same day as the wedding, which I think that is what it is, because if you look at Thomas's face when he comes in from the wedding, he's pissed. And that's the look of someone who could have done something, but they were told not to, by none other than Patton. So Deceit is going to take this opportunity to come in disguised as Roman, so he can come full-blown at Patton for everything that he's caused to Thomas, for all the things that he's made him miss, and then he's going to somehow talk about all the lies that Thomas has withheld, and how this is why he needs to come out as a true liar. And that is where Deceit will bring out his mega plan, because Roman, like I've said, has been with Virgil since the beginning, and he will be in an even better disguise this time, so Virgil may not notice as much. He may have a sense, but he may find a way to get Virgil to come in and then release his plan. And that is how it will go down in the next episode. So let's kind of like do a recap of what I've said, because I've said a lot. Basically, in the episode Dealing with Anxiety with Lily Singh is where Virgil was kind of just melded in to the light sides without the others knowing, except for Roman, because Roman has been allowed to be there with Virgil since the beginning as their relationship grows, and Deceit can kind of use the fact that they go against each other to have playful banter, and no one would notice that Virgil, none of the other light sides, aka Logan, Patton, and especially Thomas, the main person, would not notice that he's not supposed to be there. Then in the next episode, A New Year of Lying to Myself, is when Deceit comes into the fold. But we don't see him. He's just there because when they sing the song Lies, he is summoned, and Virgil is there to keep track of all of the resolutions that Thomas does not complete. So after 2017 is over and we get into 2018, Thomas didn't complete any of those resolutions. So Deceit reveals himself in Can Lying Be Good? To let Thomas know he's not a completely honest person, but not just in the sense that he needs to recognize that, but he needs to withhold to that and use that for his advantage. But this is only phase 2 of his plan, because later in the series, when we get to selfishness versus selflessness, Deceit feels like he's found a way for Thomas to truly reveal that he is a liar, use it for his own advantage to go to the callback, and start his mega plan. But this backfires when Roman, who's supposed to go along with Deceit, sides with Patton. Deceit is angry. So he releases Remus. Remus goes after his brother and literally knocks him out of the video, making Roman feel distraught, and also kind of setting Virgil off in a sense where he could have almost become paranoid. Then when we get to the next episode, Roman is really hurt. So Deceit goes and talks to him in his room, and he ends up kind of being able to get him to go along with a plan he may have in store, while also constructing the idea of having the movie night so that he can later reveal to Virgil. Then he has the movie night to not only rig the votes for Roman because he has his hat, so that he can watch Frozen and feel happy, but also reveal to Virgil at the end of the movie night that him and Roman are working together when he comes up to get his hat back. So that when we get to the next episode, Roman will go along with Deceit's plan to have Deceit disguise as himself to get back at Patton, because we learn that the wedding and the callback were not on the same day. And so when this happens, Deceit comes at Patton, completely mad at him, but disguised as Roman, because Roman is also upset, but not upset enough to do any damage, but Deceit is angry, so he's able to do a lot of damage on Patton. But because he's disguised as Roman in such a good way, he's able to bring Virgil, who's trying to keep Deceit's plan from happening, out of hiding. And then Virgil ends up going full paranoia, and Deceit's plan is set off. Now, this may not all happen in the next episode to come, but I feel that eventually Deceit will get Virgil to go full paranoia. May not happen in the next episode, but I feel like Deceit being disguised as Roman is very plausible. I don't know if that'll happen, but I want to know what you think. And thank you, Erin, for having your predictions video to give me some idea of making my own theory. And thank you all for watching. I hope y'all are staying safe during this quarantine time. And you're staying hydrated, washing your hands, social distancing, talking to friends, and just trying not to go insane. And if no one has told you today, I love you very much, and I hope you all have a good day. Bye. Bye.